People, Crown Jewel was way better than I thought it would be. Most matches delivered, we got the moments we needed, the pacing of the show was near perfect, and the best Saudi crowd by far. We did get questionable finishes, but we'll get to that. But sometimes when watching WWE, you just get that feeling like everybody's at the top of their game, and that's exactly how I felt during this premium live event. I mean, I've been asking for this triple threat match for months now, but you didn't need to go that hard. I know some of it is still very silly. Look how gigantic this championship is. But unlike a couple of years ago when WWE used these Saudi shows as dream scenarios, kinda, he didn't even try to pretend that he cares. Now WWE used this pay-per-view really well to progress some of these stories. Does any of this mean anything? Not necessarily. But the way WWE booked Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, for example, is absolutely genius. So people, let's talk about WWE Crown Jewel 2024. They kicked off with a bang, the Bloodline versus the fake Bloodline. Roman entered with Jimmy, but Jay got his own entrance for obvious reasons. Now, obviously, this is one of these Bloodline matches. Since every match is a 6-man tag, it kinda gets repetitive, let's be honest, but it was cool seeing the OG Bloodline finally back. That was the highlight of the match to me. Well, except for one thing. WWE did a great job with Solo this month, so I've been asking myself, will Solo finally get that big W? Could he possibly win this match? Well, people, not only he did win this match, which was pretty clean by the way, kinda, he also pinned Roman Reigns, and I honestly believe this was the right call. Solo needed that big W. He can finally at least try to make a point that he's the real tribal chief. I mean, this means so much for Solo's career, and trust me, Roman Reigns is not gonna suffer from it. But of course, the Bloodline weren't done. They kept attacking Roman Reigns until we finally heard that music. Sami Zayn is here. OG Bloodline is finally back with the honorary Usos. But people, tune into the next episode of the Bloodline because accidentally, Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns hit each other. Obviously, Jimmy Uso is blaming Sami. Jay just told everybody to chill. But I think it's a great cliffhanger to progress the story even further. It was a great cliffhanger, people. Now we gotta wait for SmackDown to see how Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn are going to interact. Jay Uso being like, he tried to help us, and Roman Reigns and most definitely Jimmy Uso not believing Jay. More family drama, people. We got a fatal 4-way WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. You can tell how times are changing because back in the day when in Saudi we got women's matches, the crowd were kinda silent. So in this one we got This Is Awesome chants, and this is so awesome to hear. Sure, we got a few botches here and there, but that usually happens when we have a lot of people in the ring. Like, I believe, dude, it's a nightmare to set up a match like this. And it's not like we got anything crazy either, right? So of course the match absolutely delivered, and yes, Bianca, Belair, and Jade retained the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. So again, for me, the highlight is the fact that Saudi crowds actually appreciate women's wrestling right now. It did feel kinda weird sometimes because they really appreciated this Cody moment. I'm talking about the people, I don't know, responsible for this event or something, and they didn't really take Liv seriously, which is crazy. I absolutely loved Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed. The match started before it even started. This is everything this match needed to be. This is exactly what I had in mind when I thought about this match being on a premium live event. This is exactly how I want all of my Bronson Reed matches. Look, I'll give you this. WWE booked Bronson Reed in this match like an absolute monster. He no-sold Seth Rollins' finisher so many times, and in this case, I'm not even gonna complain. It makes sense, and I know what WWE tried to do. Unfortunately, though, he still lost. Yes, Bronson Reed lost the match, but he still, stood up with a bloody face. He looked at Seth Rollins and called him out, which was crazy. It's a great visual, and I get what WWE did right here, but I don't know, man. I feel like Bronson Reed needed that one big W in his career. I know he's gonna get it anyway, but this was the opportunity. What does Seth Rollins have to gain from this, really? Again, I know they're going to get more matches, but at this point, I guess Bronson Reed needs to win this rivalry because they finally were doing something right, and then he lost. I get what they did. He was portrayed as an absolute monster, but come on. Okay, so the WWE Women's Crown Jewel Championship was kinda disappointing and possibly the worst match of the night. I couldn't care less about this heel versus heel dynamic between Liv Morgan and Nia Jax. To me, it just kind of felt out of place. It was fun seeing all these interferences from Tiffany Stratton. Will she cash in? Who is she cashing in on? And that's the only thing I wanted out of this. Are we seeing Tiffany Stratton as the new WWE Women's Champion? Of course, we didn't get that. And Raquel has a bad luck, man. She kinda screwed up the finish again because the finish kinda dragged. I think she was a bit late. So yes, Liv Morgan picked up the W. She is the holder of this gigantic big balls diamond-tastic skibidi toilet championship, which again makes no difference. It doesn't really mean anything. And unlike with Cody versus Gunther, where it felt like it was perfectly set up, you know, a dream match basically, this was just a match where we happened to get two champions. I am absolutely loving this rivalry between Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, but I kinda felt like it's way too early for a match. The story needs to be told a bit more. And WWE realized that. That's exactly what they did. We didn't get a match. It was a no contest because, dude, they were just fighting. This was as personal as it gets. And Randy Orton, Kevin Owens attacked the WWE officials, referees, even the general manager of Raw, Adam Pearce. This is exactly what this needed to be. That's what I liked about this pay-per-view, man. A lot of chaos. You know, whether it was good or bad, whether I agree with some of the, finishes or not, it was chaos and, it just makes wrestling fun. Triple H wasn't lying. This is different Kevin Owens. He actually put Randy Orton down with a great spot. Sometimes things like these mean more than an actual match. What this basically tells me is that the next match needs to be a stipulation match because you gotta keep them in the ring. It's probably gonna be something as simple as a steel cage match, but I'm still very excited and so far I'm absolutely loving this rivalry. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe Kevin Owens really did need to turn heel. Oh my god, the United States Championship, right? Like, I knew this match is gonna be good. I kept telling you for months now how this should be a triple threat match. I know we're having these number one contenders matches. F that, just give us a triple threat match. But honestly, deep down I was like, it's gonna be all Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, and LNH is just going to give us a couple of cool spots. Well, boy, I was wrong. My man was going crazy during this match. Stuff you usually wouldn't expect from LA Knight. I honestly can't believe how well he actually fit in this one. And to be honest, if for some reason you didn't watch WWE Crown Jewel, that's the match you should be watching. Like, this is one of these matches that, is a contender for match of the year in 2024. At least a top 5 or 6, right? And boy, that finish was beautiful. Oh my god, like, LNH just proved every hater, yes, I can wrestle too. And so far, it seems like LNH's United States Championship title reign is pretty decent. As much as I want to see Andrade winning the championship, Carmelo Hayes winning the championship, I wouldn't take the championship off LA Knight just yet. Finally, we got the Men's Crown Jewel Championship. Cody versus Gunther. Watching this match for the first few minutes, you were still thinking about how great that triple threat match was. Now, it was exactly what I thought it would be. And I might be talking nonsense right here. It just gave me that old school vibe a little bit, but I think it does make sense. It's Cody Rhodes, who respects all the traditions of professional wrestling. Gunther's gimmick is literally an old school wrestler, so it definitely had that vibe. And it did have that sense of unpredictability, I feel like. I mean, I expected interference from Goldberg, but then again, we didn't see any reports of Goldberg actually being in Saudi. But I absolutely loved the finish because it wasn't overbooked, yet it had that old school wrestling feel, and also protected both guys. So of course, Cody wins the championship. He and Liv Morgan celebrated. Triple H acting like he actually cares. Look at how gigantic these championships are. Oh my god. And that was your WWE Crown Jewel. Obviously, I know it wasn't a perfect pay-per-view, but it was a fun show where a lot of crazy shit happened, and sometimes that's exactly what you need from professional wrestling. My biggest complaint was that, none of these matches really matter, but at least WWE, in some cases, made sure that a lot of these storylines are actually moving forward. So it wasn't a waste of time. That's all I needed. Thank you for watching this video. The great one, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.